Morning, VC. All right, got some records for you today. Not a video I planned on making. I don't really plan these out much anymore, unless like something comes up like a meetup or something. I've been posting those. Not really doing my normal weekly finds videos like I used to do. Kind of slowed down a little bit on buying records. I'm trying to really cut back until WFMU. But we'll see how that goes. It's, I still get out to the record stores here and there, usually just repo here for used, and then lunchbox for anything like a new release that I'm going to want from time to time. And what I'm going to show today are pretty much like the best used records that I found so far this year, kind of at the halfway point, and watching Dom's video yesterday was kind of the inspiration for this. Of course, his video was completely different. Those were his like targeted records to seek out. That's not something I really have done. I do have a list like that. It's around 25 records. It's about the same list I had that I was going to bring with me to WFMU last year. Most of those records are fairly impossible to find, at least in shops, where you're just going to run into them. They have to be mostly brought in from overseas somewhere, and you're going to get raped and pillaged, usually on Discogs, and which is a crapshoot, but at least for me. But I'll show you what I've got here. Again, mostly from shops in the area, and so that's what's great about where I am. There's now, 7 shops I can go to in Charlotte, which is crazy. We went to 5 of them when Bill was in town, and we could have gone to 2 others. We could have gone to Mad Jacks and Hardy Boys, but we didn't. So yeah, we'll get into it. The first record here, and these are in no particular order, Catherine Ribeiro on Alps, I'm a Debut on Philips, original French pressing. I pulled off the Walled All Day records in Carborough on a trip up there. Probably showed this in a recent video, actually, of that deal. Can't remember the year, but it's a pristine copy. I played this. It's great. I love the guitars in this band and her vocals over the top, kind of psyche a little bit. The music can get a little proggish, but not anywhere near like full-on prog. It's just really good French stuff. Awesome guitars. Love this band. Need to find more. Next is I traded a bunch of rare funk and soul and some other things, some CDs, some jazz CDs to Lunchbox, and I got this off the wall. It's from a collection someone probably had in Richmond, Virginia, because they all have these Plan 9 original stickers on them from the record store there. This was originally $7. The Velvet Underground Loaded, original copy on Cotillion. Not much you really need to say about the Velvet Underground that hasn't been said. I'm just now really getting into a lot of the classic rock stuff that I've always just dismissed all these years. But this is great. Rock and roll on the first side I really dig. I actually really like this whole record. Lou Reed. Some Lou Reed stuff I like, some I don't. But this is really, really good. So I was happy to trade for a really nice copy of this. It sounds great. It really rocks. We got Carolina Soul up the road, and they do the best auctions. This is just one from a batch that I got from them. Billy Bang Survival Ensemble, New York College. Private, well, I don't know if it was a privately pressed, but it's Anima Records from 1978. That's a great one. I'm starting to get into the violin and my jazz, and so here we go. Billy Bang. William Parker bass is just a staple in so many groups. But Bilal Abdul Rahman on tenor and soprano kind of stands out for me on this. I really dig his playing. Yeah, that's a great LP. This one I actually got from Matz's auction in Austria, Mats Gustafsson. the great saxophone player, record collector. Gene Lee, Don't Freeze Yourself to Death Over There in Those Mountains. This is probably my favorite record that I've received this year. It's absolutely stunningly fantastic. Her vocals are incredible. And the Wolney brothers are here. Or is it just one of the Wolneys? Just one of the Wolneys on bass. A.R. Pink is on keyboards here instead of drums or piano. And this is a total Sunraw vibe, this record. Yeah. C sharp on alto, and I think it's Dennis Charles on drums. I'm not sure this alto sax player could be an alias. That's happened with these privately pressed out of Germany records on this label. I'll show you the label. They don't have this. It's A.R. Pink's artwork in his label. I'll have the lion on there. This is an absolutely fantastic record. Yeah, really kind of reminds you of a June Tyson affair with Sunraw. Definitely a favorite. Next, this is one I pulled off the wall at Noble Records. Moondog 2 on a promo copy. Very, very stoked to find this. This is a very difficult record to find, even though it's on a major label. On Columbia. It's a gatefold. And cover's not in the best of shape, but the record is really good, and it has the booklet, which was a bonus. Hard to find with the booklet. Excuse me. Yeah, on the Columbia label. Beautiful copy. So that was a big one to get from Dylan. Another one that, this one was on the wall during RSD at Lunchbox. And it survived, and I went back and got it Down on the Upside. One of the best sounding records in my collection. This is absolutely incredible sounding on A&M, double LP. I love this band. One of my favorites of all time, Soundgarden. Pretty News, Dusty, Blow Up the Outside World, Burden in My Hand. I love the last track, Boot Camp. Great find in the right price, and it's in VG++ near mint condition. This one is far from that in condition, but I have a local guy that deals in reggae. He gets tons of shipments from Jamaica pretty much weekly. This one's rough, but it was such a good price I couldn't pass. It's one of my favorite reggae artists, Jackie Matu. And this is Jackie Matu and the Soul Vendors, Evening Time. One of his first records. Very, very rare. And this is on the Coxone label from Jamaica, an original. It's in rough shape. I won't even take it out, but it plays through fine. I'd say VG minus, maybe a little, bordering a little lower, but it's it's like the African records. To get any of the original reggae stuff is difficult to find in good shape, and it's there. So I got that from him. This is one when I got into collecting a little bit of classical stuff. I hit up Repo because they have a big section. Most everything's $1 to $3. There ain't much more than $5, I think, for box sets. This was $3. Janos Starker, and this is an original Mercury Living Presence stereo copy. This goes for a little bit of money, and it has some staining on the edge, probably from coffee. But other than that, it's a pristine record, and this is absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous cello playing on this. Fantastic record. One of the better finds this year as far as like deals. Staying at Repo, this I pulled off the wall there. Alan's Psychedelic Breakfast. This is a Pink Floyd boot. One of the more desirable ones. It's a weird ass affair, but absolutely fantastic. Hard to find. Great cover. This is one that came off the wall from a shop down in Greenville, Pharmacy Records. I saw it in one of his posts on Instagram and contacted Frank, and he kindly sent it my way, and it was a really great price. It was super cheap. Hadley Calaman Iapetus on the mainstream label. Hard to find label now. This is an original promo copy, which I rarely see promo mainstream records. Let's see if I can. It's one of the ones where you gotta pull it out from the center. It's in great shape. So there's a mainstream promo for you. Really great sax player, underrated. I have both his records now on mainstream. Yeah, Louis Gasca on trumpet too on this is good. An interesting group here with Hadley. This one came from Rob at the Waxed, much appreciated. He found a promo and sent his original copy my way. That's Flight for Four, John Carter and the Bobby Bradford Quartet on the Flying Dutchman label. This one I've been looking for many years. This was a big one to check off. John Carter, just LA musician, one of the best clarinet players. Can get a little avant and free with it. Yeah, fantastic. This is one of the biggest acquisitions of the year. Probably Carolina Soul also. That's the Sakatsu Koijo Inkai record from Japan. It's missing the obi, but it is an original pressing. This is some of the best free jazz you're ever going to hear out of Japan. William Parker's on bass. Ahmed Abdullah on trumpet. Everybody else is from Japan. Yuki Harada is on piano and bass clarinet. Mr. Umezu on altos, killer on this. Rashid Shinan on drums. Ali Aboui I think he's on English horn. Anyway, really good record. Very free. This one is one of my most recent acquisitions. This came off the wall at Repo. I just played this last night. It's fantastic. That's the Blow Up original soundtrack album. Music composed, conducted, and played by Herbie Hancock. This is an original first pressing on MGM in pristine mint condition. Couldn't play any better. This has got a couple Yardbirds cuts on it. A full song on that opens the B side and a short excerpt that opens the A side. Everything else is jazz and beautiful. There's some really good saxophone playing on this. Really good bass playing on this. I need to find out who the players are. It's hard to, I haven't been able to figure it out other than Herbie on piano, keys, and I think some organ at time was on this. That's a favorite find of recent times. This one I picked up at Pharmacy on a dig down there with Eric and Zonkman. Michael White, Numa, original on Impulse. Violin, free, avant stuff. A lot of players I don't know. I know Ray Drummond and Edwin Kelly, but everybody else, not so much. B-side better than the A-side, but pretty good stuff. This one I was surprised to just run into in the used section at Lunchbox one day. This is a rare one to find. Ramon Morris, Sweet Sister Funk on Groove Merchant. It's just badass. Funky jazz. Got Mickey Roker on drums. Cecil Bridgewater trumpet, who's killer on this. And Ramon Morris on the saxophone. This is the only time I've ever seen this record anywhere. I think maybe once in a video somebody kind of was flipping through the bins in Oakland in a shop, and I saw it. But other than that, Albert Daly on electric piano. There's conga on this, so it gets jamming. This one came from Permanent. I haven't been buying much from Permanent this year as in prior years, but this one was a great one that came my way. They're pretty plentiful out there with Horace Tapscott Records being an LA guy. Songs of the Unsung on Interplay Records, an original copy of this, just beautiful solo piano. This was a great addition to the Tapscott collection. We have our quarterly conventions here in town. Greg Neal runs them. Got some new vendors in. There's one guy from Tennessee that has good stuff, and I've been hitting him up. He had this, Sunraw Nothing Is. I already had a reissue of this, but this is an original on ESP disc. And this gets out there with the Sunraw stuff. Not for everybody, but I love this label. I couldn't pass on this. It was 50 bucks, really good price. And I got a deal, so it ended up being like 40. This was the same price, also got a deal, so it ended up being like 40. Never Mind the Bollocks, Here's the Sex Pistols, an original first US promo, mint. With the original insert, and there's your white label. Just pristine copy. I was very, very excited to find this, and I got to his booth later in the day. I don't know how some of this stuff survived. He had original AC/DC stuff from Australia. He wanted $100 a piece for those, so I passed on those, but he's actually had those for a few conventions. This was the find of that convention, though. This was a steal. I think I got it for like $8 or something. Frank Lowe and Eugene Chadborne, Don't Punk Out. Bob Shop's asking $200 for their copy. Guy had a ton of Eugene Chadborne. He knew the guy. I need to find that vendor again and just buy the rest of it. It's really weird and bonkers guitar playing from this guy, but this one's good because it's got Frank Lowe, and it's definitely pushing the envelope. Not for everybody, for sure, but Eugene's playing some 6-string and some 12-string on here. Frank Lowe on tenor. A rare record on, what is it, QED Records. Not that easy to find. You can probably get one for $60 or something in this good a shape, but I paid nothing for this. I couldn't have run out of that convention fast enough. This is probably the only record in this stack that I actually sought out and got online. As far as like, okay, I need to find it. This came from Discogs, and it was an adventure, of course, to get it here. Richard Landry solos, an original copy. Yeah, what label is this? It's like Chatham Square label. Fantastic saxophone player, and then you also got Alan Brofman on here. A lot of great players. So this is really, really good. 1972. It's got a Library of Congress number, but that was a big one I actually sought out. This one I think came probably Carolina Soul also. This was one I was hoping to come across because I've gotten into the old blues from the 20s and 30s, and got into the 78s. But this record is a really good one if you don't want to go down that path and just have some of this stuff on record. The Mississippi Blues, 1927 to 1940, 16 rare sides. This is absolutely fantastic. It's on Origin Jazz Library out of Berkeley, California. I forget the year, but this is an original copy. You've got Book of White, Willie Brown, Kid Bailey, Robert Wilkins, Son House, Mississippi John Hurt. Skip James is on this. Skip James shit's really hard to find. Yeah, there you go. Love that record. This is another one off the wall at Lunchbox. An original, again, from that Richmond, Virginia collection, Swans Filth. A mint. copy of this original on the Neutral Records label out of New York. I think what, 83 maybe. That early New York scene. This is, you know, kind of wild and heavy stuff. Not into all the Swan stuff. This one hits pretty good. Next one, this one actually came from Sweden. I had a package of maybe 4 or 5 records. Came from my man Lars. This one I was expecting to be my least favorite because I didn't know what I was getting. I just took a chance on it. It was a really cheap price, and it ended up being my favorite record of the bunch. Reichel Nispel Duo, 6 pieces for 2 guitars, Erdmanchen, on FMP from Germany, 1977. This is incredible guitar. I don't even know if you can call it jazz. I guess it is. This is just really, really good. If you like Helden and the stuff that he does, Richard Pinhas does on guitar, in a little bit more of a jazz type deal. Yeah, this is absolutely fantastic. One of my favorite listens of the year. This one came from Earth River Records in Asheville, a great shop. It's pretty much, to me, like the Noble Records of Asheville, whereas like Harvest Records would be like the Lunchbox Records of Asheville. But that guy's really cool. He sent me a couple of very rare records. This is Joachim Kuhn, Paris is Wonderful, an original on the big label BYG out of France. This was dead mint sealed, dead stock. He's opened a shop that was prior owned by a family member, where everything just kind of sat dormant in storage from way back, and he's just got a ton of stuff like this. It's just, you know, sealed original, and it was a very good price. This kid's fucking out there. This is some heavy free jazz from Joachim Kuhn and Company. Beautiful copy, gatefold. Yeah, who else is on this with him? Jean-Francois, Jenny Clark on bass, Jacques Thelot on drums. That's one of the guys that Dom featured in his video. Yeah, this is really good. And a mint copy. I forget where this one came from. Probably from Luke at Premium Sound, but maybe not. But it's a great copy of Space Ritual from Hawkwind, with all the bells and whistles. I'm not going to open the whole thing up, but and everybody knows what this is. And this is as nice a copy as I could find. It was the right price, and here it is. And then lastly, this is one from the last dig at Noble with the guys, with Bill and John and Brad. John Fahey, The Transfiguration of Blind Joe Death on Riverboat Enterprises, original US copy. I was very pleased to find this because I don't like all the John Fahey stuff, but when I listened online, this was one that I really dug. And to find a copy here in a good price, and it had the booklet and everything, was great. One of the better finds of the day for me. Beautiful copy. And that's kind of the best, some of the best stuff I've found this year, minus the 78s. But hope you're all well. Train's coming. Peace.